Welcome one more time, our viewers, our partners. I welcome you one more time in this platform, Balarry TV, our channel. Today, we are privileged to host a general, a great man of God with us. That is Mr. Baraton Ochieng. So today, we're going to talk about why do we need to usher in a new year? Why do we need to start by presenting God into a new year? And allow me welcome our man of God, Mr. Baraton Ochieng. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Allow me also once more to take this opportunity to welcome all of us to a new year, a blessed year, and a great year, a year of the Lord. Now, as he also said, that today we are here just to know what we need to do to ensure that the year goes with us well. Many people in life, 90% if not all, are always beginning a year in the presence of God. That one I do not deny. People always go in churches, people gather to welcome a new year as they end an year in the presence of God. But you need to realize, or you need to understand, that starting and ending a year in the presence of God is not all. There is something that you need to do as an individual. There is something that I need to do as also an individual to ensure that this year becomes a success in my life. This year, all the plans, the goals that are set for the year are accomplished. Many people do not accomplish their goals. You realize that somebody prayed when he was ushering a new year. He went before God and tabled to God that he's having a plan of buying a car, a plan of renting a new home, a plan of starting a new business. But you will realize that at the end they failed to start these businesses. They failed to build these houses. All their plans back are like not working in their favor. They need to understand that yes, they started a year before God. Yes, they went before God and told God the plans that they were having for that year when the year was beginning. I am not contradicting that. But there are three things that they need to do after presenting a new year before God. After presenting their goals, their plans, their ambitions, and plans for the year. There are some three major basic things that they need to do. There are three factors that will determine a successful year in your life or a painful year, a regrettable year in your life. Number one thing that you need to do as an individual when you are beginning a year, the way we have begun this year. This is a new year, and I'm taking this opportunity to welcome you all to this new year. But these are the three things, these are the three factors that you need to carry yourself with to ensure that this year becomes a success in your life. Number one, dedicate this year before God. When you go in the presence of God, take an offering and tell God that, God, I am dedicating this year to you. May I not be frustrated financially in this year. In academics, I am taking this offering before you, God. And I am making a covenant with you in this year. That this year I'm not going to be frustrated academically. This year I'm not going to be frustrated in business. This year I'm not going to be frustrated in my place of work. Many people are frustrated in their businesses. Many people are frustrated in their places of work every year. Why? Because they did not dedicate that year before God. There is an importance, there is a need to start the year with God. There is a need to invite God in this year. You do not know what is it that the devil has planned in this year. This year is new to all of us. We have not gone ahead to know what it carries. We do not know the problems. We do not know the challenges that it is having. That is why you need to dedicate it before God. You need to dedicate all your plans, the year in general, before God. And while dedicating it to God, take an offering. Don't just go before God and make a prayer without sealing it with an offering. Don't go before God bare-handed when you want to start a year. These are like covenants that you are making with God. These are like altars that you are raising in the presence of God. I say that the spiritual controls the physical. What you are seeing manifesting today physical, it has happened already in the spirit. There is something that is plunging it, that is pushing it to happen in the spirit, and it happens in the physical. Any battle you have lost in the spirit, you can never win it in the physical. Any battle that you conquered in the spirit cannot conquer you in the physical. If it is in the line of finances that you conquered in the spirit, then physically you cannot be frustrated with finances. If it is academics that you had already conquered in the spirit, then physically it is going to work for you. The Lord and the angels, the grace will speak before you. Favor will knock at your door. If you are somebody who's looking for an employment, the first job that you are going to land to will be directed, will be characterized by the spiritual gifting, the spiritual work, the spiritual dedication that you did. And that is why I am telling you, maybe you have been looking for a job. Job is has proven to be difficult to find in your life. The first thing that you need to do in the beginning of this year, dedicate that job that you want. That application letter that you have written, take an offering, then place that offering before God and tell God that as I am sending this application letter, and I am sending this letter to this company, and I am sending this letter to that government institution, Lord, this offering is going to speak for me in this application. If you are about to start a business in this year, the very first thing that you need to do as an individual, take an offering and dedicate that business before God. Tell God that God, I am about to start this business. God, start this business with me. God, go with me in this business in this year. I do not want to go alone, because if I go alone, I might fail. That is why you need to dedicate that job. You need to dedicate that business. You need to dedicate the lives of your children. You need to dedicate your workplace before God. If you are looking for a transfer, if you're somebody who's employed and you need a transfer, take an offering by the beginning of this year. Take it to God and tell God that God, I am eyeing for a position somewhere in the government. I am eyeing for a position somewhere in this sector. God, I need a transfer. Let this offering, let this dedication speak to me, speak for me in this year. That is number one thing that so many people do not do, and that is why you find them being frustrated in the year. They presented their goals, their plans before God, but their plans never come to pass in their life because they failed to dedicate them before God. The second factor, the second thing that you need to consider to ensure that this year becomes a success in your life is you need to diversify your resources. You need to diversify your resources as an individual. If you are a student, this year, you need to diversify how you have been planning and programming yourself. A farmer maybe in the previous years, if you are a farmer, for example, you are dealing in the maize plantation. You had a big piece of land, the parcel of land. You used to plant one type of crop. Year comes, year goes. Every year, one type of crop annually. In this year, what you need to do is to diversify. You need to diversify your resources. You need to diversify your finances. You need to diversify on the types of crops that you are planting, because you do not know what might come in between. You do not know the kind of spirit. Maybe this year you do not know. Maybe the climate might work against you. It might not favor you. And if you do not diversify, if you had planted the one type of crop, it has been affected by the climate, you will have a loss.
So true.
This is something, it is a secret that many of us do not know. It's a secret that many of us do not understand. And that is why we need to diversify. We need to diversify our resources. If you are a wise man, if you want to make it, if you want to achieve in this year, if you want to stand in this year, this new year, if you don't want to be frustrated financially in the same way you were frustrated in the previous year, begin to diversify your resources. Begin to diversify. Diversify them. You can never diversify your resources and at the end all work against you. There is one that must favor you. There is one that will work to favor you. Your effort will not go in vain. You need to diversify so that even if one fails, the other one will not fail. Even if one does not do better, but there is one that will do better. They cannot all work against you the same time. That is why we need to diversify. In this year, this new year, diversify. Diversify. If you're a student, if you are preparing for an exam, do not be dwelling on one type of, on one subject. Maybe there is that subject that you are good at. Yes, you are good at it, but we also need to diversify. There is that kind of subject that is always frustrating you, giving you an headache. You need to diversify because you do not know whether that subject that you are good at, this year it might come to frustrate you. It might be a tough paper. But if you diversify, this one may have been tough, but those others that are coming, because you diversified, you will smile at the end. That is why we need to diversify. We need to diversify. Then the third point, the third factor that you need to consider as an individual so as to ensure that this year do not frustrate you is you need to make peace with your past. You need to make peace with your past. Let nobody lie to you that you will never achieve anything in this world if you're not at peace.
So true.
Let me not lie to you. Let no one lie to you that if you have not made peace with your past, you are going to make it. That is a big lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. The future depends on what you did yesterday and what you are doing today. You might not change what you did yesterday, but you can change what you are doing today so that it affects positively on the future. Then today's mistake will come to haunt your future. Then that is why you need to make peace with the past mistakes. You need to make peace with yesterday's mistake. You need to make peace with those whom you wronged last year, so that this year you start it on a new page, on a new platform, on a new chapter. You need to make peace with a business associate. You need to make peace with your colleagues. You need to make peace with that bad behavior that you were having last year, so that it does not affect you in this year. Many people have got good plans. Years comes, years goes. Even this year that we have begun, it will come and it will go, but it will affect the coming year. The world is not ending today, neither will it end tomorrow. That is why you need to make peace with your past, so that your tomorrow to be a free and a fair tomorrow. Make peace with your past. If you are drawn to somebody, if you are not living in holiness, if you are not living a good life, if you are not living and walking as per the standards of a Christian, as per the standard of a child of God, this year is a new year. It provides us with an opportunity to start on a new page. You need to make you need to make peace with your past, and you're going to enjoy in this year. Thank you so much. May God bless us all. Happy New Year.